care of me? If I gave you my soul, would you be there for me? Could you be there for me? If love falls too deep in love with you, say you'll be there for me. Promise you care for me.
Always hang around, trust you when there's other man about. You know I'm having doubts. We all know that life is full of difficulties. Are you here to fight the battle or just ridicule me? Now I'm getting older, guess the ending always seems close. On my way to heaven, you're the one I wanna leave notes. I'm just speaking honestly, you've always been the one for me. I'll be loving you to death, just say you'll never be ghost. I don't trust a word of trust, am I supposed to search for such a temporary permanence? I think it'd be the death of me. If we let go now, then I'm not playing double jeopardy. Go and have a couple years with Stephanie. I'll let you pursue your constant searching for a better me that you're never gonna find, always end up on your mind. Have to tell them all the time, I'm forever gonna be yours. Even if we divorce, love will always respawn. You can ask my friends, I always put you on a pedestal. All my personalities, you met them all. The way you handle me is incredible. Still don't know if wifing you is sensible, cause I see the deceit, I'm not people to preach. If the sheet isn't green, it's a reason to leave. But they tell you pick your poison and stick with it. You will never find a woman without bitch in it. Nobody can settle down cause nobody is settling. They say that you're happy now so everybody's meddling. Now you second guess if our relationship is genuine. Constantly remind you that I love you more than anything. I'm not really sure that we can make it through our differences. Changed over the years, somehow I miss all your appearances. Live behind a filter, now I wonder if it's still legit. Tell you all the shit that I don't like but never will you quit. I don't really label her toxic. If she getting on my nerves, I hit the off switch. Got a long dick, I heard it's forever wanted. Find another woman for my cockpit. Bacon for sausage, famous a culprit. Take what you want but don't play into gossip. Prove to me you're strong enough to stay for the longest. One day I will marry you, this statement I promise.